Happy February 5th, JLD here, and welcome to MicroStrategy Today. In this show, we'll be talking about the Q4 earnings call. So happy Q4 earnings call. This is like Christmas to all MicroStrategy holders, and I predict Michael Saylor is going to have a lot of fun surprises for us. We're going to go over some predictions for the earnings call, some actual estimates for the earnings call and what that could look like. We're going to also have a great post by Strategy about an ATM truth bomb that I think is so important to understand as a MicroStrategy holder. And I've dug up this epic clip of Michael Saylor from like 12 or 13 years ago. He is talking about the future. He was a visionary then, and he was right. He's still a visionary now, and he, of course, is still right. So stick around for that. Remember, this video is not financial advice. Please comment below where you're watching from, anything you want to add about the video, that you're looking forward to the earnings call, any comments you have. I interact with them all, and let's dive in. Okay, the first post I'm going to share is from Michael Saylor himself, sharing that he has just one birthday wish, and that is birthday with the Bitcoin B. Happy belated birthday, Michael Saylor. Turned 60 years old yesterday, to many, many more. Then we have a great post from Chris. He says, MicroStrategy's end of year market cap since adopting its Bitcoin strategy. I think this graphic is unbelievable because just look at this. In year 2020, MicroStrategy had a $2.64 billion market cap, which was an increase of 140% from the year prior when it adopted the Bitcoin strategy. In 2021, an increase of 72%. 2022, obviously a huge bear market in the crypto and Bitcoin space, negative 70. And then look at these last 2 years. 2023, increase of 513%. 2024, an increase of 677%. Hopefully some people watching got to experience at least part of these last 2 years. If not, don't worry, plenty more to come, in my opinion. There's a great post by Matt about the MSTR earnings preview. So let's go through this. What I am looking for. 1, forward guidance on how much debt they plan to raise over the next quarter to re-lever the balance sheets. I'm looking for at least $5 billion in converts, preferably higher. The sooner, the better on this. Number 2, acknowledgement that the accretive equity issuance was successful, but it majorly delevered the company, which is, of course, what it looks like, but we would love to see Michael Saylor acknowledge that verbally. Bonus, they signal that they may pause equity issuance after they issue the remaining $4 billion in the ATM while scaling up Pref stock issuance and issue more convertible bonds. That would be a nice bonus. Number 3, guidance on future plans when it comes to new securities and fixed income instruments. Are they planning to scale the converts to 20 billion and the Pref stock to 10 billion? Or will they aim to do 5 billion of various security types? Number 4, any guidance from Andrew about how the company will issue the Pref dividend, equity/cash, if cash, from cash flow or ATM? 5, any update on the 30 million of workforce savings from last year's layoffs. This will be important for convert coupons and Pref stock dividends going forward, i.e. signals less dilution. What are you looking for? And then he has a couple of nice images of Michael Saylor on the cover of Forbes. And of course, Bitcoin, here it is, ruling the world. Let's move over to Jeff, Punter Jeff himself, as he talks about the earnings release tomorrow and some estimates that he has. All right, y'all, MSTR Q4 2024 earnings released tomorrow, which is today now. Analysts estimate that 0.06 earnings per share gain on average. They're way wrong again. Below are my estimates for EPS based on 2 scenarios. Scenario number 1, no adoption of FASB fair value accounting. Estimated EPS loss of negative 7.797 per share. Estimated EPS loss of negative 6.95 per fully diluted share. So this scenario 1, by the way, this could be the case because MicroStrategy and Michael Saylor may decide to delay FASB fair value accounting until later in the year. So we'll see. But if they do decide to do that, this is what scenario 1 could look like. Scenario 2, adoption of FASB fair value accounting. Estimated EPS gain of $31.68 per share. Estimated EPS gain of $27.63 per fully diluted share. As an FYI data point, the QQQ index has an average PE ratio of 31.4. Assumptions for scenario number one. The software business has an organic $25 million net income. Two, negative $1.98 billion digital asset impairment charge. Note, this is going away at the latest in Q1 2025 with the implementation of FASB fair value accounting. Assumptions for scenario number two. One, software business has an organic 25 million net income. Two, 7.75 billion net mark-to-market gain for Bitcoin held and acquired throughout Q4 2024. Overall, MSTR acquired 194,180 Bitcoin in Q4 2024 for $17.96 billion at an average cost of $92,532, nearly doubling their entire BTC stack in a single quarter. Should MSTR not elect to adapt FASB fair value accounting for Q4 2024, I suspect 2024 annual EPS to be negative $10.11 for the year. Additionally, the price of Bitcoin would need to close Q1 3/31/25 at $98,798 or higher as of today's share count in order to completely wipe out the last 4 quarters of negative earnings summed together, thus qualifying for the S&P 500. Should MSTR elect to adopt FASB fair value accounting for Q4 2024 and the entire 2024 fiscal year, I estimate 2024 annual EPS to be $47.90 per share or $41.70 per fully diluted share. Insanity. Based on the current trading price of MSTR, $345 at the time of writing, the trailing 12-month PE ratio for MSTR would be 7.2x or 8.2x fully diluted. Here are the PE ratios for the Mag 7. Apple, 33. Microsoft, 33. NVIDIA, 47. Amazon, 52. Google, 27. Meta, 29. Tesla, 192. And again, MSTR would be 8.2. Tomorrow will be another earnings call for the record books, an overview of shattering capital raising records. This puppy is just getting going. So very exciting times for the earnings call later today. It's going to be fireworks. Let's dive into BitStrategy, who shares, currently, the market is not valuing MSTR's ability to rapidly raise capital via the ATM. The market wants MSTR to use leverage as it understands that there is no immediate dilution from our debt raises. The concept of accretive raises is too new and innovative for a certain class of investor to comprehend. Normally, an arbitrage is only considered profitable if there is a dollar gain immediately realized on the trade. With our ATM raises, Saylor is locking in a gain in Bitcoin terms immediately. It is a form of arbitrage, but only in Bitcoin terms. For example, we may issue $1.5 billion in stock backed by $0.5 billion of Bitcoin and buy $1.5 billion of new Bitcoin with the proceeds, thus locking in a $1 billion of Bitcoin value without any profit in USD. This only makes sense if your unit of account is Bitcoin and not USD. The market as a whole still operates under a conventional fiat framework, and as such cannot value these activities properly until it is represented as an increase in monetary value. Once we leg up again, the market will begin to understand why it was a good idea to buy hundreds and thousands of Bitcoin so quickly, and it will anticipate our ability to continue to raise finance in this manner. Once this shift in mindset occurs, and the value of our business model is properly understood, we will see a new structural premium to NAV develop in the stock price. And then I wanted to also highlight Adam's comment below. Extremely well said. Even a lot of Bitcoiners get hung up on the unit of account ordeal because you generally exchange your shares for fiat in our conventional system. This should be required reading for any bears before they post. But that, of course, would require bears to do any reading or any research. Now let's move into Michael Saylor's epic video clip from 12 years ago, talking in his visionary way about the future of the mobile wave. Michael, take it away.
like worth 3 billion 12 years ago, and then went to 600 billion. If you ask me, Apple Computer is going to $2,000 a share, right? I mean, I'd be very, very long that company. Whoever's selling that stock must be a moron, right? I mean, this is a company that's going to actually have 4 billion devices out there. If they roll them over once every 4 years, they're going to sell 1 billion devices a year. And the thing that people they don't get, right? You either get it or you don't get it. I'm going to come back to your PC question. I know a lot about PCs. I bought 10,000, 20,000 PCs in my life. I got 3,000 sitting underneath my desks. You put a Dell computer underneath the desk, you don't care that it's loud and it's hot and it's a power hog and it's ugly and it's heavy and it's like an ugly beige cabinet with screws showing. You don't give a crap. You just want it to be $400 or $500. Okay? You put a phone in your pocket and you sleep on it or next to it. You care whether it's hot. You care what it looks like. You care the battery life. You care about the radio. This is an iPhone 5. This runs 10 times faster than an iPhone 4. There's not an 8-year-old on the planet that doesn't want an iPhone 5. Right? Who wants to wait 42 seconds to watch something download instead of 2 seconds? Nobody. Right? You don't have to be a genius to run Apple Computer. You just have to every year make the product a bit lighter, a bit more elegant, make it a better radio, make it a better battery. And then I sat with one of the 10 richest guys in the world for dinner 5 nights ago, and we had dinner for 4 hours, and he did half the talking, I did half the talking. And he's much more successful than I am. I understand that, by the way. As I said, sometimes you got to do other things than just have opinions to make money, right? There's a lot of execution involved in the rest, but I have opinions. So he said to me, Apple Computer, can these guys hold their prices? Aren't they going to follow the model of the PC industry? Aren't their prices going to taper down? Their 40% margins are going to become 30 and 35 and 20. And it's another example of people just know enough to hurt themselves, right? If you're going to know a subject, you better know the subject, because being like a dilettante and knowing part of the subject is just enough to hurt yourself somehow. And I said, no, their gross margins don't have to tailor down. I mean, if you go to France, and this is the benefit of seeing enough, you go to France, you see Bernardo Arnault runs a company, LVMH. They're selling handbags for $4,000, $3,000, $2,500 each. This is a device that women view as fashion, and it's 10,000 years old. And for 10,000 years, no, the prices are not lower after 10,000 years. If you actually care about this thing, how many women have $300 pair of shoes? How many have 2? How many have more than 2? Right? The truth of the matter is when the technology goes from being a utilitarian vocational brick that I put under my desk, no one gives a crap about that, to being a piece of clothing, right? A fashion statement, extension of your personality, a piece of jewelry. And iPhones, iPads, they're somewhere between clothing and jewelry and accessory. At that point, they can hold that price point forever. They can basically sell you another $500 device every 2 years forever, because everybody's got 5, and that the first billion people have got that, and the rest of the world's getting elevated up. So I think that you're going to see you'll see a wider diversity of offerings. You'll see there will be cheaper tablets, and the $100 tablet will go to Pakistan and the 700 million peasants of China, and more power to them. That means those 700 million peasants are going to get a college education and get a master's in computer science, and I'll probably be hiring 20,000 of them, and I'll pay them $5,000 a year, which will be 5 times more than $1,000 a year, and then I'll pay them $10,000 a year, and the entire society will go from 2 billion to 3 billion to 5 billion white-collar workers, and as their discretionary income increases, they're going to buy more and more expensive things. And anybody sitting in the middle of that, controlling the software application networks that have all the asset value in them, those companies are going to benefit in a marvelous fashion.
And there you have it, another episode of MicroStrategy Today. Here's my receipt from yesterday's purchase at 10:26 a.m. on February 4th. at $347. I bought $210 of MSTR, which I will be doing every trading day of 2025 as I DCA into MicroStrategy every trading day. And I show you my full portfolio, what that looks like every Saturday. So wait for that. It's coming out. It's going to be a fun one. And this video is not financial advice. And please do comment below if you got value from this video. I want to know where you're watching from, what you're looking forward to with the earnings call, what you're excited about, what you're afraid about. Just share it all. We have great conversations in the comment section. I appreciate your likes. I really appreciate your shares. There is no second best.
What's the second best? There is no second best.